I'm not gonna sit here and take it anymore.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? This is Joe Biggs with Infowars.com, and our military is being used in a psyop yet again. It's being turned into an experiment yet again, and I'm getting kind of sick and tired of seeing these headlines every year, every other month. It's just completely and totally ridiculous. And this is one that's very important because it's going to be something that deals with spirituality within soldiers, their psyche, how they deal with going into combat, how they deal with what's happened in combat when they come back and reintegrate back into their social lives with their families, their friends. How do they react with other people that might look and seem like people that they were just fighting? That's an actual factual thing that goes through people's minds when they've been through severe traumatic experiences like combat. Now we have the Army stepping up to the plate and deciding, hey, here's a big hit for social justice warriors. Army makes history by putting Muslim in charge of 14,000 U.S. soldiers. So you have a chaplain who is a Muslim who will be the head chaplain of the division of 14,000 soldiers that are mostly Christian. And that's not me just making that up. That's just Army facts. People in the Army are mostly Christian. You're going to have atheists, you're going to have Muslims, you're going to have Buddhists, you're going to have Jedis, and yes, that is real. Trust me, I had a couple Jedis. Just that goes along with the social experiments we see all the time. But this is a person who is going to be dealing with soldiers' spirituality needs. Now, don't tell me this is an experiment to see how people are going to react afterwards. You've got soldiers being deployed into Muslim countries who are fighting Taliban, who are fighting insurgents, ISIS, ISIL, whatever the hell you want to call these people. And all of a sudden, they have to come back now to this chaplain and open up to this guy who believes in the same foundations and the same things as the people they were just fighting. You don't think that's going to play a part in the psyche of these soldiers? It's ridiculous. And on top of that, think about this. Prayers are banned in most schools because not everyone believes in Jesus. But a Muslim being a spiritual advisor for mostly Christians is okay? Come on, man. And one of the tweets I got when I tweeted out this article, I wasn't even actually going to talk about this, but I tweeted the article out and started getting some responses, and I thought, well, this might be something that I should talk about and address. One guy, @NoMissology, is this a big deal? He's an American, not like he's some random Muslim from Afghanistan or something. Well, what about Fort Hood? What about Nidal Hasan, the guy who was actually in charge of people dealing with PTSD? He was an American, but he was a Muslim. And he also decided to go in ahead and jihad against these soldiers. What happens if someone who has become so devout, so hardcore Muslim that they can't quite consciously understand or sympathize with soldiers who just came home from killing their brothers and sisters the way they believe that? So how can we as soldiers, as U.S. troops, come home and open up to a chaplain who's going to be biased in the sense of, all right, you just fought the people that, I believe in, and that, this is, where our Muslim faith originates from. That's going to screw with people. And that's something that I think is a huge issue. We've already got soldiers walking around wearing high heels, trying to have a day walking in the shoes of a woman, and all these different other aspects of these psyops that are being used against soldiers and civilians. This stuff's got to stop. And at some point in time, someone's going to see this and they're going to snap. Is it going to be the chaplain? Is it going to be one of the soldiers who just happens to snap and sees this guy and sees the person he was just fighting? I don't know, but this is literally a recipe for disaster. Am I saying that all soldiers have PTSD and snap? No. Am I saying that all Muslims who happen to work in the military are bad? No. But I'm saying you're taking people coming in and out of combat and throwing in this curveball right here. That is a recipe for disaster. You always got that one person who snaps. Let's go ahead and cut that out. Let's avoid that from happening And let's put in the person that the 14,000, the majority of them feel the most comfortable with, instead of alienating the large amount of soldiers that will be coming home from that deployment and having to go speak to that person that they don't feel comfortable with. This has been Joe Biggs with Infowars.com.
Brain Force is here. Ladies and gentlemen, I've been on this the last few months. You probably noticed I've been more crazed, more focused, less brain fog, more energy, more special reports, and it's because of Brain Force.
One of the worst things with most energy products is it's not sustainable, right? You're gonna crash and gonna feel really bad afterwards. This has a bunch of different antioxidants and compounds and polyphenols.
Everybody's on these drugs to knock their brain out because the brain's so fried.
We kept changing this formula over and over and over again until it became sort of a grand puzzle. For example, the L-theanine inside of it, that is activated by the different compounds in the yerba mate that we put inside of it as well. This just increases the compounds you already have.
This is what you're actually designed to run on.
Exactly.
It's kind of like a car will run on one form of junkie gas, but it runs really good on what it's designed for. You will find Brain Force, Survival Shield X2, and other game-changing products at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.